Alright guys, big decision here. Where do I go first? Where do I start? Everybody seems to be kind of starting right here, right by the ramp actually, so I think I'm going to stick with the game plan I originally created, which was to work this side of the body of water, see what I can find over here, and then work my way into the other shoreline. It's going to be an interesting thing because looking at this place, I don't really know exactly where the depths are, exactly how I want to start fishing, but what I do know is that this area right here is going to be wide open, has some submergent timber, has 2 bays, a few docks, and I kind of want to just try fishing my way first. There's a lot of separation and a lot of the guys are heading deep. This perspective, but they're heading out towards the main lake. I would rather start here and fish my way through than work my way into the deep water and waste all the time setting up. So what we're going to do, we're sitting in about 16 feet of water. So I'm actually going to go a little bit shallow, and I'm going to start with my standard search bait, which is a chatterbait. It is a tried, true, tested bait for me. It's something that seems to work very, very well in any condition for most species of fish. I do have a deep diver tied on, and because I'm in 16 feet of water, I might run that a little bit just to see if there's that type of bite as well. But yeah, guys, I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit unsure of everything, but here we go. Let the fun begin. Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna be sick. That was like a 17-inch, maybe 18-inch smallmouth that I just lost at the kayak, guys. That's not gonna make me happy if I don't win this tournament, or at least place the money, because that fish right there was the perfect way to start. We went shallow and decided to start working into a shallow bay, flip some docks with a Wacky rig, try a little bit of a finesse game to get a bag limit early, and then kind of work on upsizing my bite. But that one really hurts. I'm not very happy about that situation, guys. Damn it.
A few moments later.
What a start to a tournament, guys. I'm gonna have to take a second to de-rattle myself. So far I have lost a fish on a Wacky rig, worked around the shoreline, decided I was gonna fish this bay. It looked pretty good on paper, as well as it just looked like an area that I would want to fish. Well, I was absolutely right, because I lost the first fish on the Wacky rig right before the net, and then had some camera issues and casted a square bill. It was sitting on the surface of the water, hadn't even moved the bait, literally imparted 0 action on that bait, and had a huge smallmouth clear the water and then proceeded to completely miss my bait because I didn't even have the rod in my hand. It was sitting in my lap. So far I've lost 2 fish that very well could have been the winning fish. They were very big fish. So I am, to say the least, a little disappointed at this point. But that's how tournament fishing works, guys, and that's what you have to really plan on, is that you're gonna have failures and you have to battle through the adversity. The good news is it seems like the fish are here. It feels like the fish are moving around. Clearly they're interested in what I'm throwing, because I've had 2 fish blow up on 2 baits. I just really need to get a fish on the board to get my brain to reset, and that's kind of the biggest thing about tournament fishing for me, is I really need that first fish, just so I don't blank, you know, just in my head. Blanking is like the cardinal sin. Like, if I don't win, but I at least catch one, at least I entered, you know, at least I participated. Whereas if I drive all this way, pay all this money, and then don't even catch a fish, it makes me really anxious. So It is not that late in the tournament. Honestly, I've got a lot of time. It's only 8:17 and it is going to be a long day of fishing. I'm definitely going to be able to get into fish. I just know it. But for right now, I just have to clear my brain, focus back in, and hopefully we can get on them very, very soon, because this is driving me crazy that I've already missed two. Wow, man, I just cannot buy a break right now. Only fish I get in the boat, 11 inches, not a valid fish. I guess I gotta work harder. I don't know what else to do. No call. First fish on the board, 14.5 inches, guys. Let's get that guy submitted. Oh, that's a fish too. I don't know if it's big. Might be just a little guy. Unfortunately, just a little guy, just a little smallmouth, a little amped up smallmouth, little guy. But that last largemouth, guys, that was the first fish on the board. I'm liking the signs of life that I'm seeing down on this end. I'm kind of just honestly blind casting a Wacky rig in 8 feet of water, and it seems to be working. I may end up upsizing and start rolling some reaction style baits just to help with the size of the fish that I'm catching. But so far it has been a rough day, like I've been saying, but I'm in the area. This is really truly my starting point. When I do a tournament, a lot of the times what I will do is I will start out my tournament with the plan of fishing a certain area, but I don't want to necessarily burn 20 minutes to get all the way up to that body of water straight pedaling. So what I'll do is I'll kind of work my way into that area. I'll take my time, I'll fish certain high percentage areas, and then get to the main area I want to fish. This area doesn't have any competitors in it, which really shocks me, because it's like a 10-foot max depth bay. It's got overhanging limbs. It's got all the kind of stuff that I like to fish back home. And I'm really excited, honestly, that there is no one down here, because I think I might be able to pull some out of here, at the very least get a limit and be able to capitalize on it all by myself before I have to think about going and crowd fishing. This is a bigger body of water than some of the tournaments that we fished. It's probably 3 times the size as the last tournament that we fished. But this place is very interesting in the sense of, I think it's very similar to a lake back home that I like to fish, and I think that's going to help me. And being a mixed lake, I'm able to kind of mix and match baits. I don't have to worry about only focusing on smallmouth. I'll be able to get largemouth and smallmouth baits going to try to just basically fill out a bag. I'm really, really, really nervous though, guys, because 14.5 inches is not anything. It really isn't in a tournament like this, especially considering the 2 I lost were monsters. So I know that our competition's probably got some bigs on the board already. So we're gonna keep going. I do not know what the leaderboard is, by the way. I looked on TourneyX and it looks like the tournament director actually turns off the leaderboard for the event. So I have no idea, and probably won't know until the weigh-in where I'm at. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work this bay, and hopefully you guys will see me again with a big fish in my hands. Holy shit. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, please. Oh! Yeah! Why was that fish there? Holy crap! I let him breathe a little bit, let him recover. Take a look at that beautiful bass, guys. Going back in. And I now have my game plan, baby. Yeah! Wow. Just, wow. So, I don't really know what happened there, guys. I was working a square bill in 2 feet of water. Literally no water over here at all. And decided I was gonna work a square bill along the edge of the grass, and all of a sudden there's a fish on my line. Now, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the footage. You guys just saw it, but I think that fish came from under my kayak and hit that, because I reeled the bait. Like, when I turned the reel to set the hook, I was all the way to the end of my rod. Like, it pulled my rod into the water to reel him in. I actually had to hit my cast button to loosen the slack to be able to get that fish in the net, and I had him barely hooked. He actually unhooked himself in the net. So that is just absolutely the most insane tournament fish catch I have ever had in my life. Like, I don't even know how to quantify that fish catch. That, and I made a mistake, and I broke a rule that I have always had. For those of you who don't know, I have a rule when I fish tournaments that have live scoring, that I don't check the score till I have a full limit. But I decided to check it anyways, and I actually have 4th place currently. So I'm doing a little bit better than I thought. That one fish really helped a lot. And so what we're gonna do, that told me something that I didn't think about. And that is something that my boy Bear Fishing tried to harp on me. He tried to tell me, and I didn't want to listen, is that every tournament we have done this year, every single tournament me and him did, a big fish came out of the shallows. And we're talking dirt shallow. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna work this shallow area for a minute. I'm actually using a topwater spook in about, I don't know, 2 feet of water right now. Just kind of popping it back and forth, working over this shallow grass flat. I'm gonna go work the docks along that shoreline that I can see from over here. And then if that doesn't work, I might go back into that bay where I lost those 2 fish, because there was definitely something going on down there. I was catching smallmouth in there. So there's definitely something to it. Now, this area right here, to be honest, is more like a home for me. This is more like what I like to fish. This is a swim jig, paddle tail, kayak kind of area. It's 3 feet of water with, like, it's actually not really 3 feet of water. There's 3 feet of water, but the milfoil is just so thick that you can't actually get to the bottom, which is exactly the kind of conditions that I like to fish. So we're gonna rock a swim jig just above that stuff and kind of just work it through the column through here until I run out of shallow stuff. And then I'm gonna head back out and probably go back into the bay where I was having success. And that's really the debate right now. And I know I'm probably sounding pretty random, but I'm honestly still rocking some adrenaline from that fish catch. I'm debating on whether I want to hit docks or if I want to go back into the bays that I already fished. And that's really the big debate that I have right now, because I was thinking that shallow bays weren't going to work, but clearly that's not the case, because I just had 2 lost fish and 1 monster that I got in the boat, all in super shallow conditions. So we're gonna work our way around, and we're gonna make a decision before I get around this corner as to whether I want to go fish bays or if I want to go hit some docks to get a limit and then boat back into those bays later. So we're gonna have to make some decisions in a few minutes, but for right now, I'm gonna burn off some of this adrenaline by fishing a swim jig. Scoreable bass. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, get in my net. Come on, buddy. Yes. 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 Doing my game, baby. Doing my game. Whew, 15 3/4, baby. Check that fish out, guys. I'm gonna get him submitted. Now for the worst part of tournament fishing, right here.
All right, well, thanks for showing up. You guys have pictures, try and send them to me, so I can get those to Frankie, who wants more footage, I guess, from all the trails. So, yeah, tough day. Third place, 79 1/4 inches, was me, Joe. Second place, 81 inches, was Brian. And first place, the Sandman himself, with 87 inches. And Big Bass, 20 inches. Brian.
All right, guys, that is the end of the episode. I actually drove all the way home, decided to record the outro here. I ended up 5th overall, and I actually kind of feel better about the day. Looking at the final scores, the fish that I lost did not matter per se. I would have moved into 4th, but I still would have not been in the money. The second fish that I kind of lost probably would have got me in the money, but that one I don't really count because I just had a bait just kind of sitting out there and they hit it. So I don't really think that would have happened any other way because I probably wouldn't have caught that fish regardless. So, you know, honestly, it was a good learning experience. I learned about fishing shallow water with submergent grass that's really shallow. Like, for example, that largemouth I caught, that big one, was in 6 inches of water. So that was a cool learning experience. I figured out a few little tricks that I'm actually going to apply to my next tournament in August. So hopefully the information that I picked up from this solo tournament, it's going to help me in my team tournament at the next month. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching this video. I really, really appreciate you guys taking time to watch this video. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and as always, let's get out there, catch more fish.